Hi, it's Sta from Sta's Art Studio here. I'm going to teach you today how to draw this turkey since Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So I've gone ahead and come up with this drawing. I literally just Googled turkey and looked at a few pictures of turkeys to get a good reference. All right, so if you can do this using a pencil or paper. I'm using Procreate, so either a drawing app, regular pencil and paper, either way you can follow along. So let's get started. So let me go ahead, I'm going to lower the opacity of my drawing that I did ahead of time, and I'll kind of just use it as a guide to show you how to draw this. And alright, let's get started with the sketch. So I like to use Disney pencil to sketch with. It's very pencil-like. If you, I think I just watched a YouTube video of someone how to create that, but if whatever sketching pencil you like to use in Procreate will work just fine. Alright. And if you're using pencil and paper, you just want to make sure that in the initial sketch phase you're working really light and loose. You don't want to start off too dark because you're gonna have to erase this initial sketch. So light, loose. You don't want to be holding your pencil really tight and pushing hard on the paper, just kind of loose. All right, so let's start off with some circles. I usually start off with all of my drawings, no matter what I'm drawing, with circles. And if you're new to Procreate, say if you kind of mess up a line, one tap with 2 fingers erases it, one tap with 3 fingers brings it back. These loose lines, we'll do a big circle for the body, little like triangles for the arms, or the wings I should say. And the feet, if I'm drawing chickens or turkeys, I like to just do lines, simple lines for the initial sketch. We'll just do one line for the stick of the sign. Nice rectangle. All right, and that is actually a really good start. Let me get rid of the drawing underneath just so you can see just how basic and simple this initial sketch is. Just circles, light, loose lines. We can actually go ahead and erase, make that a little bigger. If you hold down the eraser, it'll turn the eraser into whatever pencil you were just using. So it turned it into that. We can just go ahead and erase some lines. We don't have to go too crazy because we're still doing a nice loose sketch. All right, let me bring back my guide and we will continue sketching. Now we can get a little bit more detailed with our sketch. Still light and loose. The beak, kind of think triangle shapes, but almost the top of it is kind of like a S shape, a really loose S, and another kind of S shape for the bottom. Connect that. The bottom of the beak will be another kind of rounded triangular shape. And we'll do the wattle. Just kind of comes up and over. And yours doesn't have to be exactly like mine, just light loose wattle shapes. And don't worry, we'll go ahead and after we're done with this sketch, erase the inside so we don't get confused. So yeah, we're just going ahead, adding a little bit of details, nothing too crazy. Just little threes to indicate wings. On the hand, we'll add almost like fingers because he's holding the sign, but light loose shapes. Can go ahead and add rounded wings, some more, I guess, sideways threes. And the feet will add a little bit more detail. I know the feet can be a little tricky, but you're just going to follow the lines. Oops. Sorry if I sound super tired, it's really late. I just needed it to be quiet until I figure out how to do voiceover and better editing for my videos. I'm gonna learn, don't worry, eventually. Alright, now we can do some more threes for feathers on the back. We'll add some nice wavy lines for the tail feathers. Nothing has to be perfect, just light, loose, relaxing lines. Oh, let's add a little bit more detail to the sign. That should be good for now. Okay, now this is yeah, really good start sketch. This will be great. And we can actually add a little bit of detail. Good. Maybe some lines to separate some of the feathers. All right. Perfect. Now we can go ahead and get our eraser and start erasing some of these lines on the inside just so we don't get confused. And if you have a regular paper and pencil, this is where it's, really important to be doing light and loose so that it's just easier for you to erase. So we'll start off inside the wattle. Yeah, the apps are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to sketching because we can go ahead and we'll do our final line work in a different layer and we can lower the opacity of the sketch layer. Erase this. This inside the hand, we can go ahead and clean this up a bit. Perfect. We'll go ahead, erase. You don't have to go too crazy with the feet because we're just gonna go over it. But I mean, if you're with regular pencil and paper, yeah, then clean it up a little bit better than with the app. All right. We'll erase these lines in the tail. All right, and that is great. Add a few more details. All right, now we can get started with the final line work. And I already went ahead and labeled a separate layer for lines. And for this, I like to use an HB pencil. There's one in the sketch category. I think I tweaked mine a little bit to my liking. But this layer is going to be, the opacity is going to be a little bit darker, well, all the way. And we can lower our sketch opacity to about 30, 40, somewhere around there. All right, let's get started with our lines. A good place to start is the eyes. I like to start at the eyes. So if you are working with just pencil and paper, first of all, you could either, if you're pretty confident, you could use a pen for this stage, and that would make it really easy to erase, or just go darker with your pencil. But if I were you, I would just go ahead and make 2 circles for the glimmer in the eye. But if you're using a drawing app, you honestly could just fill the whole thing in. And press down on the eraser to hold, so we'll change it to the HB brush, then just erase. It's a little bit easier way. And yeah, we're just going ahead and making these lines a little bit more detailed. I'm trying to make these look a little bit more feathery, a little bit crisper lines for the beak. Little nostril. We'll do the wattle. Great. Sorry if you hear random licking noises in the background. It's my dog. He's sleeping. I'm assuming he's dreaming about eating something. All right, and that's starting to look good. Just clean up the lines. And since our sketch, we went ahead and added more detail, it will make this step so much easier. We literally just kind of trace over our detailed sketch, making the lines, you know, a little bit more clean, darker. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause it at any point. I'm just trying to go a little bit fast so this video doesn't take eternity. All right. Now the feet can be a little tricky. Just follow along with the sketch that you did. Their feet are a little bit bumpy on the bottom, so I like to add, it's a little too thin. All right, and we'll add little lines for where their claws are. While we're working on feet, let's go ahead and do the other foot. Some of these little scaly marks. We can add a little bit more detail to the wings. Instead of just a straight line, we can go ahead and make it look a little bit more fluffy, feathery. All right, let's work on the big tail feathers. Nothing crazy here, just kind of following along with our sketch. Make that as big as it goes. Hope you guys get to spend some time with family or friends this Thanksgiving, or pets. I know I absolutely love getting together with my family. Can add some details. We can actually separate the feathers, put some more lines. All right, that's looking really good. So he's holding up a sign. You can have it say whatever you want. I'm just gonna have him say Happy Thanksgiving. Well, not sure how happy it is for turkeys, honestly. Poor things. All right, so this is awesome. We're done with our line work. That looks great. Let's go ahead and actually get rid of our sketch. We don't really need that anymore. And actually I can get rid of my initial drawing. All right, now we can get started with the fun part of coloring it in. So I have a layer underneath the lines that's marked fill. And I like to use, this is another one, I think if you just search on YouTube Olivia Downey brush, you should find her tutorial of how to make this brush. I really like it, but if you don't want to do that, you can always do like an inking brush. I think Studio Pen is similar, but I do really like this one. All right, and we'll pick a nice brown color for the base. Put it to 100 opacity, and we can just start filling it in. It's a bit big. So in Procreate, you can just go around the edges and then we'll fill in. I'll show you how to fill it in if you don't already know. And if you are using just regular pencil and paper, this is where you can get really creative. You could use crayons, you could use markers, watercolor is a good option to color it however you want, honestly. Okay, for time's sake, I just went ahead and went around the whole turkey. Then I'm going to drag this color onto the body to fill it. And now we can go to the fill and alpha lock it, so that now we can go and pick whatever colors we want for like the feet and the beak and our details. So let's go ahead and fill that. We'll pick this yellowish color for the feet, should be good. And this way, since we alpha locked it, we can just go ahead and color it in, not worrying about staying in the lines. Color the beak the same color. Looks good. We'll pick a red for the wattle. Maybe a little bit darker. It's weird. I'm just going to go ahead and color the whole head red for now. Now I'm going to take a blue color and we'll just color in not the whole face, just around the inner face. And then we can color pick this white. We'll color the inside of the eye. Let's fix this up a bit. All right, now we want to try to blend these colors. You could either use like a Gaussian blur, and that kind of like fades it in and out. I don't really want to do that, but that really comes in handy for certain designs. But we can go ahead and use the smudge tool. Usually like a nice soft brush is good for smudging. Pretty small size. And the opacity, I guess that should be good. We'll try it out. All right, and we're just gonna go ahead and erase that a little bit. Blend everything together. So it's not all these harsh lines. We'll go ahead and fix up the eye in a second. Just nice circular motions will do a good job. And since we have it alpha locked, we don't have to worry about anything getting outside of the lines. So yeah, nice, soft, blended edges of color. We can go ahead and blend the feet too. Looks nice. Just gonna clean up this eye because I don't really want that to be blurred. I'll keep it pretty crisp. Let's actually make the inside of the mouth there we go. Nice reddish color. All right, now I think it's time to add some detail to the tail feathers, and you don't have to go crazy, just kind of color pick the color that you have. Let's go with something a little bit darker. I know these tail feathers are usually a little bit darker on a turkey. So I just filled that in, and now I'm gonna just go around the edges and soften it with the blurring tool. You can add maybe a little smaller. Some darker feathers on the wings. Then we can go ahead and soften that a bit. I'll tell you, coloring these in is really relaxing. I'm already super tired, so I could really just fall asleep doing this. All right. I'm just gonna blur these out a bit, make them look a little softer. And if you're using just regular crayons or markers or paints, I hope you're really just enjoying filling in all the colors. Now we can add, let's see, maybe a light color for the tips. Filled in, yeah, these tail feathers, these wings. Now I'm just gonna, again, blur them out. Maybe we could add a little bit of green in here. I think I did that for when I initially was figuring this out. A little darker. Honestly, you could make this turkey however you want to make it, whatever colors. Could make it have rainbow tail feathers, purple, blue, pink, whatever you want. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, for the sign, we'll just make the handle like a really dark brown. There. And I do want to do a little bit, I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I do want to show you really quick how to do just a little bit of shading. I feel like it makes all the difference. So we're going to go ahead and pick soft blend. make it pretty small. And just anywhere that there's overlapping of a body part, you can just go ahead and pick a little bit darker tone than what's there. Make it a little smaller. And maybe we'll do airbrushing, soft airbrush. And then we'll just go ahead and blur it in. So it's a nice soft shadow. And you can already see how much that makes the head of the turkey pop. So for time's sake, I just went ahead and added some more shadows just behind the wings, behind some of the tail feathers, behind the sign, the wattle. We can actually add some behind the eye. That'll really help the eye pop out. Yeah. So yeah, I think that looks really good. If you want, like, you can go crazy with shading and lighting, and obviously there's better techniques for doing shading and lighting, but maybe I think I do want to do a video on that, just not this time. I'm going to try to keep this simple, but just an example of a quick way to add some lighting. Just go a little lighter than the color. Oh, and one more thing. I like to add a shadow underneath him. So honestly, whatever the paper color you're using, you can just pick that, soft blend. As long as it's below your drawing. Just kind of add a shadow. Blur it out a bit. And there you have it, a Thanksgiving turkey with a little sign. You can draw that on cards, or just draw it for fun. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you learned something, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, that would be awesome and give me a lot of motivation to make more videos to teach you how to draw things. But alright, thank you for watching. Bye.